Welcome to Michael and Lisa White on YouTube, the channel that helps individuals and couples cultivate a no-surrender mindset through life's adversities so that you can thrive.
Absolutely. Today, we're going to talk about a very sensitive subject again.
What is it?
Money, 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 money.
Money!
Money! That's what we're going to talk about. So hold on to your seats. Communication, honesty, expectation, goals, and anxiety. Folks, there's no magic wand. There's no Harry Potter wand here that's going to just sweep it. Just kind of, I'm gonna say a spell, and you guys are going to just get on the same page. It doesn't work like that. Again, we're not financial advisors. This is just how we did it. So we want to share it with you, and it's helped us over the years. And we'll share our struggles as well with that. With money, the conversation, the feelings behind it, our relationship, individuals with money, and also what we talked about and came together on. So check your ego and educate yourself as a couple.
Now, in a perfect world, once you are in a committed relationship, you really owe it to each other to calmly and openly sit down and talk about your finances. The reality is this conversation doesn't usually occur until there's a financial crisis.
And it's not calmly or openly. And if you can't do those two, then get a third person to get involved with you, other than family and friends. In a study, 1 in 5 say money is their biggest relationship challenge.
See, there are many factors involved with how we deal with money before we even enter into a relationship. Could be school debt, credit cards, even habits like cigarettes, alcohol, gambling. This can lead to monetary trouble. It can even prevent you as a couple or individually from renting an apartment or buying a house.
Shopping can be another one. Influenced by other people, trying to keep up with the Kardashians. Nothing against the Kardashians if you by chance see this. But most of us don't live that lifestyle. We got to be honest with ourselves and kind of where we are at, not where we're living hoping to be somewhere else. Another statistic, 40% of American couples who live with their significant other can't come into close guesstimation of what the other partner makes, despite the fact that 71% of those 40% say that they communicate well with their partner. And thirdly, in this survey, I thought was interesting, is people are more comfortable getting naked with each other, having kids with each other, buying homes with each other, doing things and shopping and traveling with each other than to sit down and be naked financially with each other. That's the truth. It was with us. To sit down and open everything and see how do we feel about things, we're going to do with what? That's tough. But we're here to help you.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
So in each relationship, you got to admit it, there's a spender and a saver. A spender and a saver. A spender and a saver. Which one are you?
Spender.
Saver.
And let me expand on that. If Lisa could, she would at the same thing, put all the money away, barely do anything, yada, yada, yada. I, on the other hand, feel like we should actually enjoy it. I want to enjoy life.
You only live once.
Let's go. That's right. We can't take it with you. But then, see, I have to come from the extreme in a little bit. She has to come from the extreme in a little bit. And that takes time.
It can even come to the point where sometimes you start talking rudely about that role. That person can be, gosh, that person just blows money all the time. They just are living on the edge, and that can cause friction in your relationship. Or on the other side of the coin, oh my gosh, that person's such a cheapskate. They never want to do anything. They're so frugal. Instead of taking an airplane, they want to drive 4 days to get somewhere.
we're not talking directly to you. Just look to your neighbor to the left of you or to the right of you. We're talking about them.
So define those roles within your relationship. Then there's children. Whew, children can be very expensive. Not just their shelter, their food, and their clothing, but also things like dance classes and sports and marriage someday, going to college.
I read somewhere that over a lifetime of a child that you're going to spend somewhere $284,000 to $300 and something thousand. Now, have a few?
We only have one.
We have one. We have one. We have one. And that one is good. He's good. But that's what the stats say.
You also have to consider daycare. Are you the stay-home parent who's going to take care of that child? Or are you going to be the person who sends them off to daycare? That changes the money that comes in and out of your home. Granted, you might be the stay-home person who's taking care of the child, not bringing in an income, but you're also the person who's saving a lot of money in all of that spending that would be going to putting your child in a car, driving them to daycare during the day, providing their diapers and their meals for that facility. So there can be a sticky situation if you have a different view on that.
I have no view on that because we decided, that's what Lisa did. Lisa decided she wanted the first 5 years to stay home and stay with the kid, stay with our kiddo being raised. And I was like, do you want to still live at this level? She goes, yes. I go, you got to figure out a way to bring some money in. And we talked through it and figured it out. That's for a later story.
And not just children, but we're living in a time where today more and more people have extended families. Their parents are living with them.
Their adult children are staying longer.
All of those finances are included when you're budgeting and managing and thinking about money within your household as well. Another thing to consider is control and fear around money.
Mm-hmm. She controls, I fear. No, that's
so
not true. Go ahead.
Who pays the bills in your household? Do you take turns? Is it a mine, yours type of situation, or is it an ours? Do you split your bills right down the middle? Does he pay for 8 of them, you pay for 8 of them? Do you cover all your costs and he covers all his costs? Those are things that you need to really bring to the table and think about. How are you going to pay for everything? There are so many questions to answer, but if you don't look at them, you can be in financial havoc. So here are 5 things that you need to consider when you're talking about money with your partner.
Number 1, have the freaking talk.
Or talks.
Or talks. Or, right, because it might take time depending on who's the hothead or the controller in the process. Have the talk. It's not something to be fearful of, right? Many people have separate accounts and they put all the bill money in the middle. That's not bad. That's how you decide to do it. That's great. Read up on that. I'll share what we do. What's hers is mine and what's mine is mine. Is what we do. No, that's not true. It's not true. It's all ours. And we talk about it and we work it as such. You know, sometimes she's made more than me. Sometimes I made more than her. It doesn't matter. It's ours. And for big purchases, we actually talk about it. But we know each other. We allow each other grace on everything that we do. And so that's kind of how we do it. You decide how you guys are going to do it. Just agree on how you're going to do it. If feelings come up, talk about them. Don't hide. Don't avoid. Talk. Number 2.
Deal with your debt. Debt is a relationship killer. It can really pull you deep down into the depths of hell.
Wow. But debt is also a thing that we live with. Like we have debt, we have a mortgage, we have 1 car payment, right? We're not saying there's people who's like, you can't have any debt. We're just saying don't be extremely in debt, manage it. If it gets out of hand, you got to take extreme measures. We have done so in the past. We went through the envelope system for a long time, couple different times in our life because life just kicked us in the teeth. And we had to really, really strap down.
When we went through the burglary in our home, we had to fill that hole with something. And what we filled it with was stuff. We spent a lot of money trying to make ourselves feel better.
Right.
That was a never-ending wheel that we were running on. Eventually, we came to the point where we are killing ourselves. We are in financial debt.
Yep.
We were going to lose our home.
Yep.
We were almost homeless. So we had to come up with a system and agreement on how we were going to get out of debt.
Right.
There are a lot of things that you can study up on this. Our particular system was the envelope system. We paid off our, our smallest credit card, went to the next one, went to the next one.
Snowball effect.
We kept chipping away at
Yep.
it until we got those things down.
Yep.
We didn't use credit cards. We now have very, very limited debt. And we actually have some savings put away in case there's a problem that we need to address right then.
And we'll talk about that one in a minute.
Number 3.
Budget and prenups. Budgets are a guideline. It's not a ruler, meaning don't smash it over your partner's knuckles.
And don't whip them with it.
Prenups the same way. What I've read is don't use it as a weapon.
Now, we didn't feel the need to have a prenup because when we came into our relationship, neither one of us had anything.
Nada.
But if you do feel the need for that in your relationship, look into it. Make sure you talk about it way ahead of time. Don't just spring it on each other.
Correct.
There are certain financial reasons why this is important, especially if you come from a family who has wealth behind their name for generations.
Yep, and you don't, like Lisa said, don't spring it on them. Be open about it. If it's important to you, then talk about it. If the person doesn't want it, then maybe that relationship's not for you. And that's just a fact before you guys hook your wagon together. It's very important to have. It's sensitive. It's a sensitive topic to have, so it's important to have it if you're going to go to the next stage of your relationship.
We found that a budget is an incredible tool for us. We use it as a tool. It is a guideline for us, both of us, having different incomes, different responsibilities. We want to take trips. We want to save up for getting the windows replaced in our house. In fact, this morning we woke up and we have no air conditioning. It's the middle of summer in Arizona, so we have to pay for that repair. And in order to do that, we have to have money set aside to have those repairs made. So a budget has been very useful to us in helping us allocate and manage our money that's coming in. We know exactly where every dollar is going to, so that we can make sure that we're taking care of all the things that we need, that we want, and that we deserve.
Want and deserve, we're not getting everything. But need, we got that little bit covered, right? Because we're a normal couple just trying to make things happen in our life. They said money is the root of all evil. Don't believe it. I think it's the person who handles that green little paper. Number 4.
Learn and invest. I myself am not very interested in investing and learning about that, but it is important to Mike, and it's important to us as a couple. That's just a role he has taken on, and I'm happy to give it to him, believe me. But it is important that you learn about ways to invest your money, to prolong that money, because we are living longer as a society. We are living longer, so we have to make sure that that money extends for the length of our lifetime.
And reality is this. When we face things in our life, it just brings us closer to our mortality. Right? There's going to be a time in our life that we're not going to be able to doing exactly what we're doing right now. And then whatever we have done and whatever we have been able to invest and save is going to carry us through those other years. So don't think that you have time to do it. I did in my 20s and 30s, and now it's catch-up time. That's just the way it is. You do what you can.
Remember, the point is to start, even if you're starting late.
Yep.
Start putting a little bit away now. Start putting money towards your debt. Start saving a little bit. Start investing a little
Yep.
bit.
Yep.
It's never too late to start.
Absolutely.
And number 5.
Try to teach your children. And I say try because you can teach them and they may not want to learn it. Mm-hmm. But as long as you do it, eventually they'll remember what you've said to them. If you model it, you can tell them all day long, but if you don't model it, they will not do it.
It's important to show your kids and the future generations how to manage a checkbook, how to write a check, how to create a budget, how to save and invest for new tires on their car, or the oil change that they need, or a replacement on their vehicle when their car breaks down, because you know that car that they bought for $3,000 is going to break down and they're going to have to get a new one.
Absolutely.
The importance of building their credit. So when they are ready to go get a new car and they have a job, that they're actually able to afford the vehicle that they're getting in, and they have the credit to get a loan in the future on a car or a house, or have the ability to rent an apartment on their own without having you as their co-signer.
Take the time to teach your kids. Take the time. If I had a abusive relationship with Lisa, our relationship wouldn't grow. If she was verbally abusing to me, our relationship wouldn't grow. It's the same thing with the little green piece of paper. Mm-hmm. Your relationship, for abusing that, not respecting it, not taking care of it, and nurturing it, it's not going to stay with you. It's going to run away from you. Whatever your personal view or your relationship with money, it's important to have a conversation with your spouse on it, with your significant other, with your partner. Have that conversation. Don't be afraid of it. Don't let a piece of green paper affect how your relationship is. Growing up, I wasn't exposed to or shown how to value money. So when I got into my early 20s, I talk a lot about that. I was making a lot of money. I was spending a lot more. So in hand, out of hand. Didn't learn. My mindset was really just to enjoy this time, that this is going to be like this forever. Not until I realized that I was impulsive, that I had very impulsive nature. What I see, I wanted, I went and got.
And some things never change.
She's an interrupter. I have inattentive ADHD. So what that meant, it showed me why I was so impulsive over a period of time. Not until I was able to understand what was going on, mature, I was able to have a better relationship with money, right? Not perfect. I'm not perfect. We're not financial gurus. We're just saying how we work it out for us so we can stay together. The idea is for us is to grow together, stay together. We are better today due to the factors that we talked about. We are better today, individually and as a couple. So don't surrender. No surrender mindset is don't just be complacent. Don't educate yourself. Continue to learn and be a better you. So you bring a better you to the relationship. She can learn, bring a better her to relationship, so our relationship can be better.
So for more content just like this, make sure you hit the like button.
Yeah.
And subscribe, so you can be the very first to get notified when a new video comes out.
Absolutely.
So until next time, bye.
See you later.